Streets are talking, the beef is escalating. And you're about to witness Max B strikes hard, Charleston White and Harlem react, Camron sparks NYC drama. If you thought the last parts were intense, hold on tight because this chapter takes it to a whole new level. Harlem is buzzing, Brooklyn is watching, and the energy in the streets is off the charts. Max B isn't just responding, he's sending a message that this saga is far from over. Fans are divided. Social media is blowing up and everyone wants to know who's really in control. Charleston White has been making moves, throwing shots, and Harlem isn't staying quiet either. And just when you thought it couldn't get bigger, Camron steps in, bringing his Harlem legend energy into the mix. This isn't just commentary. This is a collision of legacy, loyalty, and street credibility. We're breaking down every angle, the hidden subliminals, the fan reactions, and the insider secrets you won't see anywhere else. This is rap beef in real time, and if you blink, you might miss the next explosive move. From subliminal messages to street debates, every reaction counts, so buckle up, hit that like button, and stay locked in because Max B isn't holding back. Charleston White isn't staying silent, and Harlem streets are watching. This is a NYC rap drama at its rawest, and you're getting the front row seat. Don't scroll past, every second counts in this war of words, respect, and influence. Harlem streets were already buzzing before Max B even made his move. The tension had been building for weeks. And everyone knew that this wasn't just another diss track. This was about respect, loyalty, and legacy. Social media was on fire, clips of Max B's past roasts and subliminals had fans dissecting every line. The beef with Charleston White had taken a life of its own. Fans from every corner of NYC were weighing in, some riding for Max B, others claiming Charleston White had the upper hand. Inside Harlem, word was spreading fast. Every corner, every block, everyone had an opinion. Street chatter wasn't just gossip. It was a pulse on the situation. Max B ain't playing, said one local, shaking his head as he watched clips of the back and forth on his phone. And he wasn't alone. The sentiment was unanimous. The streets were watching, and Harlem had always had its way of amplifying drama. Meanwhile, Max B was carefully crafting his next move. The subliminal shots were calculated, each line meant to provoke a response, to test loyalty, and to assert dominance. In this game, every reaction mattered. Max B knew that Charleston White wasn't the type to stay silent for long. And sure enough, Charleston's crew had already started whispering strategies, plotting the next social media rebuttal, and looking for ways to bring Harlem's energy to the forefront. But this wasn't just Harlem drama anymore. Camron, Harlem's legendary voice, had entered the conversation. With decades of experience navigating the streets, the business, and public perception, Camron's commentary added weight to the unfolding saga. Every fan knew that when Camron spoke, people listened. His subtle nods, hints, and posts online were enough to escalate anticipation. It was clear, Max B's actions were being observed by the streets and by legends alike. The tension wasn't just in words. It was in the details of every interaction. Clips from Harlem and Brooklyn, snippets of Instagram posts, TikTok reactions, they all contributed to the larger narrative. Every like, every share, every comment acted as fuel. Fans debated endlessly who had the sharper punchlines, who commanded more respect, who would ultimately tip the balance in this beef. Every perspective mattered because in the streets, perception could become reality. Max B's strategy was precise. He wasn't just responding to shots. He was controlling the narrative. His lines weren't random, they were designed to trigger reactions, to make Charleston White respond publicly, and to keep Harlem talking. Each phrase was a chess move, each subliminal a calculated strike. Fans dissected them, some thinking they were reaching, others recognizing the genius in the subtle digs. Charleston White, of course, wasn't standing idle. Known for his sharp tongue and street credibility, he started mobilizing responses. Clips, comments, and subtle hints began circulating online. Harlem watched, Brooklyn watched, and even the legends in the rap game had their eyes glued to this growing saga. No one wanted to miss the next explosive interaction. As the debate raged online, the streets mirrored it offline. Barbershops, corner stores, and local hangouts became hubs of conversation. Every fan had a theory. Every observer had an opinion. Harlem was alive with tension, and Max B's every move was being analyzed. It wasn't just about words anymore. It was about street respect, legacy, and influence. Camron's involvement added an extra layer. With his unique voice and legendary insight, he subtly influenced the way fans perceived the beef. A single post from him could shift the narrative, elevate Max B, or force Charleston White to recalibrate his strategy. The streets knew this, and the anticipation grew. Social media accounts exploded with clips, memes, and fan reactions, turning the feud into an all-out Harlem spectacle. By now, every corner of NYC seemed connected to the unfolding saga. Fans, rappers, and legends alike were watching. Max B's moves weren't just reactions, they were statements of power. Charleston White had to respond, and everyone knew the streets were ready for it. The tension was tangible. Snippets of potential responses from Charleston White began surfacing. Subtle hints, subliminal clips, and fan-shared posts made it clear. This battle was far from over. Max B had set the stage, and now the streets awaited Charleston White's move. It was an unfolding street saga, a chess match of words, strategy, and influence. Every move, every line, every reaction would be remembered. Max B had ignited the flames. Charleston White had fuel ready to pour, and the streets were the witnesses. The saga continued, the drama escalated, and Harlem's eyes were fixed on every moment, every interaction, every clash of words. As the sun dipped behind Harlem's skyline, the streets were still buzzing with energy. Max B's latest subliminals had dropped earlier in the day, and every corner, barbershop, and block had people dissecting each line. The tension between Max B and Charleston White wasn't just a local Harlem matter anymore. Social media had amplified it into a citywide spectacle. Fans argued over who had the sharper bars, while street commentators predicted the next explosive move. White wasn't about to let Max B take control without a fight. His team had been analyzing the clips, the subliminal shots, and even minor gestures in Max B's posts. Every detail mattered. In the streets, people whispered about potential responses. Would Charleston fire back with a clip, a freestyle, or perhaps a full-on diss track? The anticipation was real, and Harlem's pulse reflected it. Camron's subtle involvement had added another dimension. His nods on social media, cryptic posts, and commentary provided legitimacy to Max B's side. Fans began speculating about alliances and street loyalties. Some saw Camron's support as a blessing for Max B, others as a calculated move to control the narrative. Either way, it intensified the energy and tension in Harlem. Meanwhile, Brooklyn's scene was quietly watching. Though Fivio Foreign hadn't officially stepped into the drama, fans speculated on his potential reactions. The cross-borough rivalry added a layer of suspense. Harlem versus Brooklyn, old school versus new school. Every fan knew that if Fivio decided to weigh in, the scale could tip dramatically. This subtle NYC tension kept the story dynamic and unpredictable. Charleston White began hinting at a response, dropping cryptic lines online that had fans speculating for hours. Some thought he was planning a direct video response, while others guessed it was a subliminal track aimed at Max B. Every move, every like, every comment from both sides kept Harlem buzzing. Social media platforms became the battlefield where fans picked sides, debated the sharpest lines, and predicted the next explosion. Inside Harlem, the energy was palpable. People didn't just talk about the beef, they lived it. From street corners to music shops, the narrative of Max B versus Charleston White dominated conversations. Barbershops replayed clips, debated lyrics, and shared inside stories. The authentic street perspective gave the beef its raw edge, making it more than just online chatter. It became a cultural moment. Max B's strategy was subtle but deliberate. Each post, each line, each subliminal was carefully calculated to provoke a reaction while asserting dominance. It wasn't random. It was a chess match. Every fan, every observer, and every Harlem native understood that this was more than a beef. It was a test of respect, influence, and street authority. Charleston White, known for his sharp tongue and strategic moves, responded in kind. His posts hinted at deep knowledge of Harlem's streets, showing that he wasn't intimidated. The subtlety of his approach intrigued fans, creating speculation and discussion across all platforms. It wasn't just about who fired the loudest shots, it was about the timing, context, and precision of each move. Camron's commentary continued to influence perception. His cryptic posts and nods online weren't just opinions. They were signals. Fans analyzed every post, trying to decode hidden messages, allegiances, and potential outcomes. With Camron involved, the beef had street legitimacy and legendary weight, making it even more engaging for Harlem and NYC audiences. The cross-borough tension simmered. Rumors of Fivio Foreign dropping a subtle nod to the drama began circulating, sparking debates on whether Brooklyn would step into Harlem's feud. While nothing was confirmed, fans loved the speculation. Every possibility made the story richer, more complex, and infinitely more watchable. As night fell, the streets were alive with debate, predictions, and anticipation. Clips from Harlem, reactions online, and insider commentary all converged, making it feel like the city itself was holding its breath. Max B had ignited the flames. Charleston White was preparing his response. And the audience from Harlem to Brooklyn was fully invested in the unfolding saga. This wasn't just beef. It was strategy, loyalty, street intelligence, and legacy, all played out in real time across social media, local hangouts, and the pulse of NYC. Every fan's reaction, every post, and every comment had the potential to shift the narrative. Max B versus Charleston White had become a living, breathing NYC rap drama. And with Camron's subtle guidance, the tension and stakes were higher than ever. The streets of Harlem were electric. Every corner, every block, every barber chair seemed to buzz with anticipation. Max B had set the stage. Charleston White was ready to respond. And Camron's subtle nods made it clear that the city's legendary voices were watching closely. This was more than a feud. It was a test of respect, loyalty, and influence. Charleston White finally dropped his response. Clips surfaced online, each line carefully crafted, hitting subliminals that fans had been decoding for hours. Harlem erupted. The reaction was instantaneous. Some fans sided with Max B, praising his calm yet commanding presence, while others lauded Charleston White's clever comebacks and sharp street awareness. Social media exploded with reactions, memes, and debates. Every comment section was filled with heated arguments over who had landed the hardest shots. Max B, of course, didn't stay quiet. He countered with calculated subliminal posts, videos, and street interviews. Each word, each gesture, each subtle smile was analyzed by fans, commentators, and even street veterans. Camron's involvement added weight. Every subtle hint from him sparked discussion about alliances, strategy, and respect in Harlem's hierarchy. Fans knew that when legends like Camron weighed in, it wasn't just commentary. It was an official nod of legitimacy. Meanwhile, rumors of Brooklyn's involvement circulated. Fivio Foreign hadn't officially entered the drama, but Harlem and Brooklyn fans speculated on potential reactions. The cross-borough tension added extra fuel, making the saga feel larger than life. Every social media post, every clip, every reaction became a piece of the puzzle. A chess game where street credibility and fan perception were the prizes. Inside Harlem, the energy was palpable. Barbershops replayed the clips, corners debated lines, and street commentators broke down every angle. This wasn't just entertainment. It was a cultural moment where respect, history, and influence collided. Max B and Charleston White were not only battling online, but through the collective consciousness of Harlem itself. As the night progressed, the tension escalated. Max B released another subtle clip hinting at his next move, while Charleston White dropped a short freestyle with hidden subliminals that had fans hitting repeat. Camron's cryptic commentary continued, making the story richer, layered, and highly engaging. It was a masterclass in modern rap, beef, and street drama. Each move was measured, precise, and calculated to provoke just the right reaction. Fans across NYC and beyond were glued to their screens. The saga had transcended Harlem, reaching Brooklyn, Queens, and even international audiences following the beef. Social media platforms were flooded with clips, reactions, and analysis videos. Every line, every subliminal, every hint sparked conversation. This wasn't just a feud, it was a full-scale cultural event, driven by strategy, influence, and raw street energy. Max B's approach remained deliberate. He wasn't just throwing shots. He was shaping the narrative, controlling the timing, and ensuring that every move counted. Charleston White responded with equal precision, demonstrating street intelligence and a mastery of subtle messaging. Camron's influence lingered, reminding fans that Harlem's legends still had eyes and ears on the game. The final climax unfolded in real time. Harlem streets were alive with debate, excitement, and tension. Max B and Charleston White had pushed the saga to its peak. Subliminals had been exchanged. Camron's subtle commentary added a layer of legitimacy, while the speculation about Brooklyn's involvement kept audiences on edge by the end of the night. The feud had reached a new level of intensity and awareness. Max B's strategy, Charleston White's clever responses, and Camron's subtle guidance had created a multi-layered NYC rap drama unlike anything fans had witnessed in recent years. Harlem was buzzing, Brooklyn was watching, and the streets had a story they would discuss for weeks in the aftermath. Fans analyzed every clip, dissected every line, and debated who had truly won this round. Some declared Max B the winner for his calm dominance and precision. Others praised Charleston White's clever comebacks and street intelligence. Camron's subtle nods were interpreted in every possible way, sparking endless speculation about alliances and influence. This wasn't just beef, it was strategy, legacy, and street culture wrapped into a high-stakes drama. Max B had ignited the fire, Charleston White had fanned the flames, and Camron ensured that Harlem's voice remained authoritative in the narrative. Every fan, every commentator, every street observer witnessed history in the making. A rap beef and NYC street saga that would be remembered for years. Yo, streets don't lie, and neither does this saga. If you've been watching every move, every subliminal, every clip, you already know that Max B versus Charleston White is more than just a beef. It's a full-blown NYC street drama. Harlem is buzzing, Brooklyn is watching, and legends like Camron are giving their nods, showing us that this isn't just entertainment, it's a lesson in respect, loyalty, and street strategy. Now it's your turn to join the conversation. Hit that like button if you're feeling the intensity of this feud. Subscribe to stay locked in with every new development and drop your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think landed the hardest shots? Max B with his calculated subliminals, or Charleston White with his sharp comebacks? And what do you make of Camron's subtle influence in this saga, ally strategist, or street referee? Don't forget to share this video with your crew. Every corner of Harlem, Brooklyn, and beyond should be in the know. The streets are alive and the debate is far from over. You get front row access to NYC's rawest rap drama, insider insights, and the hottest reactions as this saga continues to unfold. Every view, every comment, every share keeps the story alive. And remember, in this world of rap beefs and street loyalty, timing, strategy, and influence matter. So buckle up, stay tuned, and make sure you're part of the conversation. The streets are watching, are you? Streets are watching, are you?